So if you compare Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, I feel like there's almost a night and day difference between both shows. You know what I mean? You can clearly tell which show is being favored a lot more than the other show, because SmackDown, it feels like SmackDown is just, a slow and painful death, when Raw is getting all the, the featured matches, all the storylines and everything. And when you compare it to tonight's episode, I thought tonight's episode was a very, very good show. A very good, solid go-home show for the Elimination Chamber, which is coming up this weekend, this Saturday night. And you had a very good, what I thought was probably the best thing of the night here, which was Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So let's kick it off with that. Might as well talk about that. So Cody Rhodes was here on Monday Night Raw, I guess, to my surprise, because I didn't even know he was going to be on Raw until they actually announced him for being on Raw here tonight. And, I didn't think much of this. I said, I don't think he's going to come out here and address The Rock. I don't think he's going to give his answer this quickly, because they kind of promoted the whole fact that he's going to give his answer at the Elimination Chamber, right? So I kind of wondered why he was going to be out here tonight. And he came out here around the second hour or so. Cody Rhodes came out here and essentially, broke down the deal that The Rock offered him. Will take all the struggle and all the fighting and all the clawing that Cody Rhodes has done to achieve his level of success. It will take it all away just like that in the snap of a finger. So he said that, this deal doesn't just concern him. This deal concerns everybody around him, his family, his students, his brother, his mother, his dad's legacy. He said that, when his dad, he was working up until he was 60 in the independent scene, wrestling around. He said that that's not what Cody Rhodes is trying to achieve. So this is why, in many words, he's considering this idea, because this idea, like I said again, reflects towards his family, his friends, his colleagues, and whatnot. And out comes Seth Rollins, which I found was very interesting, because Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have not really had a face-to-face ever since WrestleMania 40, right? And I found this very interesting because, like Seth Rollins said, this first meeting should have been, congratulatory. It should have been, super high praise for Cody Rhodes. The fact that he's been, WWE champion for a year, but he said he's out here, under different circumstances. And he essentially, said what we're all thinking, which I've always kind of thought that Seth Rollins was almost like Cody Rhodes' guardian angel, because he comes out here and he tells Cody Rhodes, like, man, what the hell are you thinking? The Rock, the same guy who we fought against last year against the Bloodline, who we fought so hard to take down. He said that he offered you a deal. He said that, I don't know why you didn't just slap him in the face and send him on his way. He said that the fact that you're even considering this is alarming. He said, don't make me regret what I did last year. The fact that he sacrificed his knee, the fact that he had a jacked up back, how he sacrificed his title reign, everything for Cody Rhodes. He said, don't make me regret that. And Cody Rhodes, you can see him sort of, get angry back to Seth Rollins. He said that Seth Rollins right now sounds very judgmental. He said this is coming from the same guy that stabbed the Shield in the back, that sold out to the Authority, that ran people like Cody Rhodes out of the WWE initially. Like I said before, Seth Rollins did state here that, all he's trying to do is protect Cody Rhodes. He said that Cody Rhodes is a grown man himself. He can make his own decisions. He said that he's going to go to the Elimination Chamber. He's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and he's going to go on to WrestleMania to face not a corporate, soulless, sold out Cody Rhodes. He said he's going to face the Cody Rhodes that came back and beat him at WrestleMania 38. He said he's going to face the man who beat him with one arm in Hell in a Cell. He said he wants that Cody Rhodes. He said he doesn't want, this corporate version of Cody Rhodes if he is to accept The Rock's offer. So like I said, I thought this was a very excellent segment. It felt like WrestleMania worthy like segment. It felt like the segment we got a few weeks ago with Punk and Cody, where these two men are just going back and forth, and it hits a little closer to home now with the whole Rock scenario, that Seth Rollins is the man to come out here and maybe talk some sense into Cody Rhodes before the Elimination Chamber. So I thought this was the best thing of the night, to be honest. We also had the women's tag team match here tonight. This was the main event, women's tag team championships on the line between Naomi and Bianca Belair against the Judgment Day women, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And to be honest, I thought this was a pretty fun match. I thought coming into this match, it might be a little, a little bit slower to begin with or whatever, but there was some really close near falls there. Dominic Mysterio came out there to try to help Liv Morgan and Raquel get the win, and eventually Raquel Rodriguez takes advantage and catches Naomi as she's going to the top to deliver her springboard finisher, and Liv Morgan takes advantage, and Liv Morgan and Raquel are the new women's tag team champions. And I think the fact that this main evented was a telling sign that something major was going to happen. I didn't think Jade was going to return. I think it's a little too soon for Jade to return. I felt like first you have to get the titles off of Naomi and Bianca, because then Jade comes back almost with the purpose of, hey, both of you guys lost the titles. If I was around with Bianca, I wouldn't have lost the titles. That would never have happened if me and Bianca were still a team, right? I think that's sort of the narrative that Jade is going to come back and bring towards Bianca and Naomi. And I think Jade will return possibly as soon as this Saturday night at the Elimination Chamber, because now Bianca and Naomi realistically have no way now to be connected. Before it was because they were both the quote-unquote tag team champions, right? And now they're not champions, so it would make almost no sense from Jade's point of view that these two women are still teaming up together. But like I said, this was a really fun match, and we have new women's tag team champions. We also had Gunther tonight in an actual match. Gunther came out here and proclaimed that he wanted to have a match here tonight. He went to Adam Pearce's office and demanded he have a match, but only that he could pick the opponent. And of course, he picked Akira Tozawa simply for the fact that Akira Tozawa and the whole Alpha Academy were doing TikToks, and Gunther came across this and wanted to talk some sense back into Akira Tozawa. He said that both of them, they're very similar, that they both left their home country to come and make this their profession, their living. They were both overweight, but now they've dialed in their diet and they're really shredded, both of them. And he said that Akira Tozawa took the different approach that Gunther did. Gunther doesn't appeal to the masses. Gunther doesn't appeal to the fans. He said that Akira Tozawa does this to make the fans happy and everything. So we got this match, Akira Tozawa against Gunther. I think this probably went roughly maybe 5 minutes or so. They made you believe almost as if Akira Tozawa did have a chance here, but obviously he didn't. So Gunther ended up winning. He choked out Akira Tozawa. Then he tried to choke out Otis. Then this brought out Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out here and make the save, and Gunther retreated back up the entrance ramp, and we got the shot of Jey Uso saving Otis and Akira Tozawa. And overall, I really enjoyed this sort of version of Gunther. I've said before, I love cocky, arrogant heel Gunther. I think that's much better than the whole unsure, unconfident version of Gunther that we got a few months ago. I think that really didn't do much for his title reign, but I feel like now that we're going into WrestleMania, I would love to see more of this cocky, arrogant heel version of Gunther. We also got a sit-down interview here tonight with Sami Zayn. He sat down here and made the point that this time around, this is different with Kevin Owens. He said that he went to Kevin Owens' house and found his mother, Kevin Owens' mother, and they caught up. And he said that this time it's really different this time, because he doesn't know what both men are capable of. They've never brought their families into this. They've never dragged their families into this. But now it seems like, there's no boundaries with both of these guys. He said that to Kevin Owens, that come the Elimination Chamber, this is going to be a whole different scenario for both of us. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to set up a possible WrestleMania match between both of these guys, or if this is just going to be the call off. I don't know. I don't know what to assume thus far. We also had a match between Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio, which was honestly just 5 minutes or so. Eventually, the Judgment Day got involved. Finn Balor got involved. He tried to get a chair to attack Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker caught him and Finn Balor retreated. So my question coming out of this was, so what are we going to do with Braun Breaker as far as challengers? Does that mean that Braun Breaker now is going to challenge Finn Balor eventually down the road? I mean, I don't mind it, but I'm just kind of, I'm just curious generally where Braun Breaker is going to go, because he's got a lot of challengers, Penta, Styles, so I don't know what the direction is for Braun Breaker now. And speaking of Penta, we got a match here tonight. We got a solid, excellent match, a triple threat match, Penta against Ludwig Kaiser against Pete Dunne. This was a very fun match as well. I think this was probably the first match following the CM Punk and Logan Paul promo, which itself, I thought, to be honest, the CM Punk and Logan Paul promo, I thought was just standard for both guys. They're trying to sell the chamber. There was just one line in particular that I found interesting, was Punk referred to how he's going to go to the chamber and win the chamber, and how Cody Rhodes doesn't have to worry about selling his soul, because when pushed, CM Punk is Satan himself, which is a good callback to last year with Drew McIntyre, which I don't know, potentially that may be hinting at something with CM Punk and The Rock. I don't know, you know what I mean? The corporate champion CM Punk. I don't know if that fits, I don't know if that suits, but possibly, you know, there's always something, an ulterior motive with CM Punk. So back to Penta and this triple threat match. I thought this was a very fun match. Eventually, Ludwig got the win over Pete Dunne. I think Penta was going to go for his Penta driver when he got shoved out of the ring by Ludwig Kaiser, and Ludwig got the win. And the reason why I think this is okay, and I think this is a good win, a good, you know, solid win for Ludwig, is because Penta, you know, he didn't get pinned, right? He got protected, quote unquote. He got protected in the finish. He didn't lose. He didn't take the pinfall. He got shoved out of the ring, and then Kaiser took advantage. So I think for the people that are going to be screaming, oh, Penta got buried, Penta's done, Penta's over, I think you guys need to chillax and relax, because I don't think, you know, Penta, if they didn't have anything for Penta, I don't think they'd be featuring him at all. So I think this is a solid win for Ludwig Kaiser going into the chamber and going into WrestleMania to see what, you know, possibly if they're involved in the IC title. And that was pretty much Raw. Like I said before, I think this was a pretty good go home show for Monday Night Raw. I think compared to SmackDown, like I said, SmackDown has been drizzling shits on Friday nights, and I think this Monday night was a solid go home show. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this Monday Night Raw, what your thoughts are on the Elimination Chamber. We'll have the Elimination Chamber predictions up later on this week, along with some bonus videos and whatnot. So let me know what you guys think down below, and until next time, I will see y'all later.